Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night and time for Dev Chat. And this is our new night, by the way, the new night that we are going to be having Dev Chat moving forward. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Meanie Beanie Mabs. I am the guy who talks first on live streams. With me tonight, our usual partner in crime for live streams, Mr. Dylan Anderson, also known as Player One Taco. How's it going, Dylan?
It is going well. How are you guys doing tonight?
Excellent, excellent. And also with us, and I promised I would do this, the creator of Wildcard, the man,
the
brains,
creator.
the brawn behind Wildcard, Mr. Derek Laporte. How's it going, Derek? He just fled off the edge of the screen. How's it going, Derek?
All right, I'm here. It's working. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know what happened.
He's blinded. He's
nothing suddenly. As soon as I don't know, the music was going, everything was good, and then and then it just I don't know.
It just all disappeared. Okay, so we're in the land of technical issues. Maybe it's the Matrix that is playing with us because we have a lot of big news for tonight, and maybe the Matrix is trying to prevent us from sharing the news with our people. So I just got the thumbs up from my producer. Let us know in the chat. People are saying that I got some feedback that I was sounding a little crunchy in my audio. So let me know, you guys in the chat, if you can hear me correctly, if my audio sounds good. I'll switch mics if it's a little annoying for you guys. But we do have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a new version that just dropped minutes before we started the stream, mere minutes before we started the stream. Dare we say version 2.0 of Wildcard? Is that right, Derek?
Yes, it says 2.0 in some places and 1.98 in other places, but we're going to go ahead and say it's a 2.0 because, there's a bunch of changes. So there's a lot of new stuff. So let's do it. Let's say 2.0 of the pre-alpha. It's still pre-alpha. Let's not, get ahead of ourselves.
Let me throw that banner up. People who watch us know, by the way, that you need to like, subscribe, do all of the social media things. I don't need to tell you. You've been on the internet now. We've all been on the internet long enough to know what you need to do to support us. But we appreciate it. But I want to remind everybody that we are showing you pre-alpha gameplay of Wildcard. So it is a game in development, and you are lucky enough to witness the development with us as we play it, as we present it to you. So let's get right into it. So let's talk about the game, guys.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Derek, so like Derek said, he just sent me the newest version moments before we started this stream. So I haven't even had a chance to look at all of these new cards here, and I'm like, I worked really hard on getting some new decks into play to just put a quick play into place. The big deck, we're all looking for is to find that Karai killer.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but it looks like you got some really awesome here, new cards into play.
Well,
there's a lot of new stuff.
Absolutely, and if you're watching us for the first time, Karai, a team member on that's working on Wildcard with us, he is the number one player in the world right now of Wildcard, the number one player. He has beaten everyone, even my Meanie Beanie aggro deck, which was designed precisely to get rid of him. And what about you, Dylan?
He has not. I have not played him yet, so. I am Karai undefeated. I will take that as, for now.
Okay, for now. We thank you, by the way, if you're watching us on Twitch. I see lots of comments coming in. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. But let's get right into it. Let's start talking about all these changes. So, I mean, last time we had some new cards in play, some aggressive cards. We had, some that brought some big changes. But I think this time it's the whole game is changing. So, Shall we maybe talk about the cards a little bit first?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, so let's go over page 5, right? Basically starts the new stuff.
The new
Oh,
stuff. So
page 4.
Page 4? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
that's right. There is some new stuff on page 4. So all right, so let's talk about it. So last time, Therabit was a new card that I liked quite a bit, but now it looks like we have some pretty gnarly spells that have been added to the mix.
yeah. So one of the things that we did, somebody had suggested previous time, I think on a previous stream, we had the build a wall thing before. Somebody suggested making it a guardian, so it does that now. So it'll make a Nemot a guardian with 0 attack and 10 defense for 1 complete round. Now, when we say round, right, that's different from turn. Like it wouldn't do you any favors if it was on a turn, right? Because it would happen on your turn, and then it would be the opponent's turn, and then it would no longer be a wall by then. So it's for 1 complete and total round is the thing. Actually, it says 1 round. I think we should test that because I feel like in play testing it lasts 2 rounds, as far as I can tell. So that'll be one for everybody to like check out. Other than that, we've got this blood burn, which you're basically paying for life, but you're sending one card from the opponent's hand to the grave. This one's just a real kind of test. That's an annoyance more than anything because hand management is, kind of a key thing, and that kind of, yeah, it will burn, no doubt. Getting, especially if it randomly is a good card that you have. I've noticed with this that the numbers usually across the top. So we usually have the numbers of like, the cards that are in the graveyard, or cards that are in your hand and your graveyard and then your deck. So some of this those numbers get thrown off by these hand management cards and some of these graveyard management cards that we'll be going through and all these kinds of things. So they at least, it's likely that will be some of the bugs reported is like issues that arise from that, because the system, like basically you've done something and then the server has different information, and there's going to be some back and forth between that. So I'm excited to see those bugs too. Life pull. So basically you get 3 life, and then you take 3 life from a ally Nemot. So you're killing one of your, well, not necessarily killing a creature. It could just be lessening its health. Yeah, you're maiming a creature to get yourself some life. So again, resource management kind of card. Life for mana. It's basically you're paying 3 life for 2 mana. Maybe at some point this will be worth it for you. I can't foresee, like through my play testing and stuff, I haven't really found much use for this card yet, but I do feel like there is probably some situations in which this will be of a benefit.
Absolutely. I mean,
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say that early on, I mean, if you get this card right away with in combination with the, what is it, the 0 card, is that still around?
The mana increase there, yeah.
The mana increase. So I mean, you could kind of bulk up really quickly and really early with, you can put out a pretty powerful Nemot out on the board with that card.
Yeah.
So with the life pull, did you make that a randomization, or can you compound that? So like if I wanted to drop a build a wall on a Nemot, can I then pull a life pull on it?
They could, yeah, it could be done like that. It can be compounded and comboed and played on each other. Yeah.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, but
and was Force Draw, is Force Draw a new card over here?
I think we had that one last time. I think several of these we had them last time. We just didn't have them in their current state in some cases.
Excellent.
So yeah.
So moving on to the next page.
Yeah, so opposite of life for mana, right? Mana for life. So you're basically paying 3 mana for 2 life. This is one of those situations, like a late game situation, where you're kind of getting burned pretty bad, and maybe you went too heavy on your spells, and you at least have this spell that can help, perhaps, hopefully. Yeah, Force Draw was, yeah, I thought so. And then there's Sacrifice for mana. This one, basically you return a Nemot to your deck and you receive 3 mana for doing so. Again, it goes to your deck in a random location, doesn't necessarily go to the top. So keep that in mind. And
this just a question. So this is a Nemot this is a Nemot that is in your hand, right? So not necessarily in your graveyard.
So it is one that is actually on the board. It should probably specify a little better there, because it has to be on the board, and then it also I think that it has to be an ally Nemot. I mean, you guys can really test and see, because I mean that would be really beneficial if it's an enemy Nemot you're sacrificing, but it is supposed to be an ally Nemot. Okay. Again, yeah, we got to work on some of the wordings of these things, because obviously it needs to be consistent. Recall Nemot. This one specifically is basically sending an enemy Nemot back to the owner's hand. Remember, it will go back to their hand. In the animation, for some reason, it sends it to the graveyard. But do be aware that it's going back to their hand, so they could just bring it out next round. But I mean, again, if they're spell sick, right, then that extends it another round that they're going to be spell sick and stuff, you know.
Looks like Dylan's got some visitors.
Yeah.
I do. He came and took his little pad. You gotta love Costco. They have these dog beds that are pretty big, and they've turned into like his little like sleep pads and like hangout pads and loungers.
Awesome.
People are like, "Oh, you got a dog?" No, we have a toddler.
Yeah. Bought your kid a dog bed. There he is.
All righty. So we were talking about Recall Nemot, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that one, basically it sends a enemy Nemot to the owner's hand. Do be aware of that, because it is visually it's gonna look like it goes to the graveyard, but it's actually going back to their hand. So they could actually just play it another turn. Spell sickness, that's a good thing, because obviously if they bring out, like, say they bring out a guardian, right? They bring out a guardian and you're like, oh no, you know, because a guardian, even if it's spell sick, you have to get past it in order to attack, right? So something like this is a good opportunity for you to get the guardian off the field if you happen to have that card, right? So that you can then attack the crystal.
Interesting.
Turn Spurn. You can basically you damage an enemy Nemot 1 health point per turn elapsed since the game begins. So again, late game, this is a valuable card. Early game, it's a little less valuable, but it is another good one. And again, it is an an enemy Nemot, so it's a creature, so not the player crystal.
So just so I understand, so this is so whatever the number of turns has elapsed in the game, that is the damage that you're going to do with this card.
Right. So if you're round 10,
you're nuking
10 damage against the enemy Nemot. Yeah, you're
all right. Let's get that one in the deck. Perfect. Oh, only 4.
Yeah, only 4. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask for I feel like I'm going to ask for this card to get nerfed. I can already tell.
I mean, it's a totally late game killer. It's a late game killer. It's something, you know, that It's a late game killer for sure.
Interesting.
Did
I like that mechanic.
Did you think of doing it almost like a poison, almost so that it could attach to the Nemot and last? So each turn, an extra damage is done to it.
Yeah, I mean, so we don't have those yet, but like we will have like status effect kind of things like that later. Because that's what that reminds me of, is those status effects like poison counters and Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that's definitely like down the road. We're gonna do stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Gifts for Guardian. So basically you sacrifice a Guardian that's over 8+ on the defense. So if it has 8 or more life, then you can draw 2 cards. So yeah.
Antlers, nice to see you, Antlers. You said, I made it. Am I too late to this party? No, you're right in time, Antlers. You are right in time. We're talking about a new build. And from the people that are just joining us now, you're watching Dev Chat with the Wildcard crew and the creator of Wildcard, Derek Laporte. Please like, subscribe, do all the things. And we are looking right now. So we just had a new build that came out, build 2.0 of Wildcard, and we're looking at all the new cards and the new mechanics. So this is very exciting.
Yeah. And then we got Hand to the Grave. So you send 1 random card from your hand to the graveyard. Obviously, since it's random, that could benefit you. That could also burn you pretty bad. In exchange, you get 2 cards. So again, this is hand management. Again, those late game situations in which, you know, maybe you only have, for instance, 1 card in your hand in the late game. You can't really play it. Well, I guess the 1 card in your hand would be this one, right? So then you don't really have much of a choice anyway, do you? Well, let's say you have 2. Let's say you have 2, right? Then you know which one it's going to be, because you're going to play this, and then you're gonna lose that other card that maybe you couldn't use, and you're going to get 2 cards that maybe one of them you can use.
Interesting.
Will the card not work if you only had this left in your hand and you play it? Will it not work, or right now will it work because of bugs?
So
Or
it probably,
unfinished
yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Mechanics.
We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I think it will still work. It probably will still work, most likely, and it will just probably throw an error on the back side and say, hey, we're at -1 card for some reason, kind of thing. Which you can't actually have negative cards.
If that happens, you get unplugged from the matrix, and then you get dumped out into like out of your pod and back into the real world. So be careful out there. If you're testing Wildcard, please be careful. You may get unplugged from the matrix.
It's true.
Hand to the grave. Hand to the grave. So I mean, there's a lot of these spells. I'm seeing kind of a theme here.
Yes.
The next one.
Give it to the grave. So
give to the grave.
Yeah, send a Nemot card of the opponent from their deck to the grave. You don't get to pick which one it is. It's random, right? It's also not been played, so it's in their deck. So this one is one of those that, again, maybe late game might work out in your benefit. Like, say, for instance, you're going up one of these things, you're winning pretty good. It's probably worth it to do this in the event that they might have a Guardian in there, and you're not going to want that sucker to come out and stop your attacks. So, yeah.
Okay. And now we see our first new creature of this build, right? Or first new Nemot of this build, right?
Yeah. So this is the only new Nemot of this build.
Okay.
Actually, but yeah, it's the combination of a book and a unicorn, the Bonicorn.
That makes total sense. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The Bonicorn. Yes. Also, it may have gone to Bonnaroo. Who knows? It's possible. Yeah, this one is a one that is heavier on the defensive side, right, and a little less on the attack. So it's one of those that kind of we haven't really seen many of these yet. We've been able to build some if we, for instance, added defensive bonuses to other creatures and stuff like that. But we haven't seen something that has a fairly low attack for, especially for round 4 that it's coming out, but like a decent level of defense. And it has an ability to it that's interesting. This corny attack, which is a -2 to an ally Nemot for 2 rounds, but it also gets a +3 to its attack for 2 rounds. So you are like taking away from you are taking away from a another of the creatures, but you're giving to yourself as far as the attack. I should specify this, and actually I'm reading this right now, and I see that it doesn't say, when it says -2, you don't know what that is, but that's actually supposed to be life. So
I see.
That one probably needs to be reworded a little bit. But the idea is that, unicorns are really like, I mean, the reason why they're not still around is because they were kind of buttholes, probably. They were not very nice. They were not very nice.
Their blood tasted so good.
Yeah, they were not good people. They were not.
They seem kind of aloof, unicorns, kind of like they're better than you, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
To me, yeah, they're kind of like war elephants a little bit. The equivalent of war elephants, like it seems like it would be good to have in battle, but I don't know. Like it was better to have war pigs. If you guys hear about this war pig thing?
I know the song, what is it called? Not Ozzy Osbourne, but War Pigs is a song by what was Ozzy Osbourne's band? It's
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. It was it's probably Black Sabbath's best song.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Derek.
Yeah. So the best enemy for a giant war elephant is they would actually get war pigs that they would set these pigs on fire, and then the pigs would squeal and run towards the elephant, and the elephant would just turn and run the other way. And that was actually, wow. That's actually one of the primary ways they defended against war elephants back in the day. So that is
horrific. That is horrific.
It is horrific. It is horrific.
Yeah,
but can you imagine
is that another
war
Nemot?
then?
I thought war pigs was a reference to like the people who started wars, that they're pigs and stuff like that, But
sure.
there were, I mean, maybe it still is kind of, but now that I know that they set pigs on fire to try to kill freak out elephants, that's kind of nuts. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, back to unicorns, because unicorns are like they're like an elephant with a horse or something. I don't know. I'm just making, but
absolutely.
But yeah, this should be a good one to have. Obviously, like it is a little more mana cost than some of the other things you can bring out earlier that still have pretty decent defense. Like for instance, it's usually a 3/5 when you bring out a Hooch Moose, and that's only 3 mana. So War Pig Nemot,
yeah. Jack Dillon asks, when War Pig Nemot? I think that's kind of got to be a thing now, or I don't know.
So. Yeah.
I mean, how else are we going to destroy the unicorns if we don't have flaming war pigs?
Right,
right. A Black Sabbath CD mixed with a pig, and make it like a cute pig, like a little teacup piglet.
Yeah. I have a question for you about Bonicorn, Derek. So it is a combination of a book and a unicorn. I'm trying to I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this, but I'm trying to read what the cover of the book is. Are you able to reveal that, what the cover of this book is, or is this like a secret?
I want to make sure that I read it entirely correctly. So let me look it up in the meantime. But it 9 Lives is the title of the book. But there's a whole subsection there that I'll take a look at and read it.
Who'd you put as the author?
I have to look that up too. This has been
secret lore.
We are talking about this has been a while ago that this art was done. Let's see.
Well, while you look that up, I mean, you've been talking, Derek, now we've been talking privately and on the show. You've been referring to there being kind of secrets or little things that you've kind of inserted into the game in different places that are like pop culture references, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing. So is that correct that there is content in the game right now that is a man, I'm losing all my words tonight, but it's kind
like
of
an Easter egg?
Yeah.
There's yes, there's a lot of like little hints of kind of what's going on and of the greater world and like the Wildcard world outside of the game and lore as far as like Easter eggs too, stuff like that. Also like hints to what exactly like who's behind the occurrence and those kinds of things are also kind of out there too, slowly being introduced in backgrounds of levels and things like that, little hints, stuff like that. It's there.
All right. So, I mean, if you have a copy of the game, this is kind of a call to action. Start pouring through every inch of every card and every background because there is hidden information there. And anyway, I'll leave it at that. Just start looking. I love this kind of lore. I love this kind of stuff that you have to kind of dig through it. So do you have the title of the book that is the Bonicorn? Did you manage to look it up?
I'm still loading in the build. I had closed out the build, so give me a few minutes here.
So player one, do you have this build loaded up and ready to go?
I do have this build loaded up and ready to go. I have not made a deck with some of these new cards. I made a couple nights ago. I made a new deck. I literally named it the Derek meta, and sort of it's almost a straight balance between creatures and spells. Made a couple other ones that named like Power Move, one for the money, a wild one, but this is going to be one of those things where you're really making a hard choice, Derek, for people if they're wanting to stay within that 20 card realm for that short, quick play, or if they're wanting to go into those deeper decks to, if they're looking to play more of a middle end game rather than, first stage. So, yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, I was gonna. There are going to be all those decisions, right? And that's getting you ready a little bit for those later decisions too, where you can only have 109 cards total, and so you're going to have to make some difficult decisions, some hard decisions. But that stuff's good because obviously, like that will bring value to every one of those decisions that you make, whether you make the right decision or not, regardless. So I got the title now so it is 9 Lives, a cat's biography, from Meow Publishing.
Okay.
Yes.
And the author?
The author is it is a cat, so there is not actually any specific cats can't really write. So they didn't really sign the book or anything, so we don't know.
Okay. All right.
We just know that it exists.
This
what is inside of it? Who knows?
This is some hot lore. Well, I mean, right now,
a lot of sleeping.
Right now, there's a unicorn inside of it, so that's kind of like embedded in it. So, but that's some hot lore dropping.
Hot lore.
Some hot lore dropping. So I hope everybody out there is keeping an eye on this. All right, NFT NF Troubled says, you guys are having way too much fun over the dumbest stuff. I love it. Don't stop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We're here to
Of
have fun.
course. Why not?
Yeah, I just want to let the audience know. I mean, we're not here for your enjoyment. We're here to hang out with each other, and you guys just happen to be watching. So we're allowing it. So
Yeah.
you know, we
Yeah.
could be streaming to 0 people, and we'd be having as much fun. But however, we do appreciate you watching, like, subscribing, sharing, and doing all those social media things. And just as a reminder, if you're joining us now, we're doing a little dev chat with the creator of Wildcard, the upcoming P2E game. So, player one. Okay, so those are the cards. I was wondering, should we build a deck or should we talk about some more changes? Because there's other things that are happening in the game right now, right?
Yeah, we can so we could go in and we could talk about some of the other like changes. Let's run people through maybe the little bug reporting system.
Okay.
So like it probably actually would work now if you clicked it, but yeah, we can click it now. So as soon as you click it, there's going to become this little window there. Are you sure this will end the current game recording? So you say yes. This thing's going to pop up. Yeah, it's going to be inside of this. So one thing that you'll have to do too is so there's not any. See how it says none in the middle there? There's not a recording selected. So click Prev recording to go to the previous recording. Yes. Cool. There we go. And then you can type in whatever happened into that section there, and then submit bug when you got it. It does have a flip option there, so sometimes it'll appear upside down. It's fine if you send it and it's still upside down, because on our end we have a flip option too. So don't worry about that. If you make a mistake with that, that's fine. What this will do is it'll take a while, because probably this one's going to take a pretty good while, because we probably recorded a lot. Well, 37 minutes worth of video
gameplay. All right,
gameplay
so
of
the Matrix is
picking a
probably
deck.
really unhappy right now. Yeah. So can you select how much it captures, or can you kind of
No, so it's gonna do the whole. Well, and with most situations in which what's gonna happen is it's gonna, like, people are just gonna play, and then it's gonna start with the play. It will it will keep track of the previous 2 playthroughs. So once you like, it's gonna, so if we move beyond this, it would like load in a different thing. But it will keep the previous 2. That way, if something happens and like the game crashes or anything happens like that, you can still go back to the recording after you relaunch it to like send the bug if there's an issue. So
interesting. Well, we'll let this upload. I mean, this is like, it's going to be like a 10 gig file that I'm sending you.
Yes, that's good.
It is cool though. It is very cool. I mean, this is what is that? What is this an answer to? Were you guys as developers trying to work through these bugs? Did you feel that you needed to have an actual video to look at the what
pretty
happened?
much. Yeah, because in a lot of cases, there's a lot to. So if we can't replicate it, we really can't figure out what happened, right? So the key to replicating it is having like all of the details, including like which cards are out, that kind of stuff. Usually it's not beyond that. It is about like the cards that are out and which cards are played, and then you can kind of like, there's enough information usually inside the game scene that we can kind of parse what happened. But there's a situation in which like Hooch Moose, every time he's in the middle, he's a little bit off to the right hand side of where he should be, and it only happens with Hooch Moose. And like, so that kind of information is key, because obviously these are different prefabs that are being like used in this, and so it could just be one prefab issue kind of thing.
Interesting. That's really cool.
What about the #1 frog issue? It was happening a lot.
Of the legs that are disappearing?
Not the not the legs that were disappearing, or the black eyes, yet the reflection of it having white eyes. But where if it was the last only Nemot that the AI had on the board, it would sort of freeze instead of releasing it to its death.
Yeah, I wasn't able to replicate that one, but you know, especially since it's difficult to replicate one in which you're doing a situation what the AI has, especially since it's a 1/1 card. So it would just happen. It would happen to be, you know, that's a 1 in a million kind of time that would happen, right? Like, well, it's not exactly a 1 in a million, you know, but it's
Could be.
It's pretty rare.
I mean,
a 1 in 30 chance, technically.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then, so now I have a success screen.
Yes.
So it says, send us this link. It was copied to your clipboard. Thank you so much for that.
Right. Yes. So then you
what do
would
we
just,
do?
yeah, you would just take that to the Discord bug reporting section, and then just paste it in there and be like, hey, this is, you know, this is my bug, blah, blah, blah.
All right. And I did throw up the link to our Discord server right at the bottom of the screen. If you were watching this right now, up and above, supporting us with likes, subscribes, follows, and all the social media things, we would ask you to join us on Discord. That is the HQ, the center of activity and discussion and theory crafting and, you know, just everything. Everything Wildcard is happening on Discord. So please come and join us there. All right. So I hope you guys are watching. Those who have access to the game, this is a pretty slick new kind of bug reporting system here. Excellent, wonderful, man. That looks really great. That looks good.
Yeah.
Except for uploading these files.
Yeah, and the only downside of it right now is it doesn't pause the game, so the game will still keep going in the background. But we're probably going to work on a hot fix, hopefully, where the game pauses once you enter that screen so that you don't, you know, have to lose the game because you bug reported. That kind of sucks.
Okay, so we do have a question from our boy Rook 982. So Rook asks, regarding deck management, what is the trade-off for getting rid of a card? Is it just gone without anything in return?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I mean, so talking about like one that is, so if you're burning something from somebody's deck and sending it to the graveyard, there is going to be ways to get things out of graveyard and back into action. But right now, there's not really an effective way of doing that specifically for whatever was burned. So I will say that right now it is kind of gone, but like these are always going to be like resource pools, right? And that's the way to think of the things. Like a graveyard is a separate, like kind of like a side deck almost in the long scale of things. And so there's you know, we've got hand, which is one resource pool, which is the one that's most readily available, right, and easiest to do. As long as we have mana, we can use anything from it. Deck is that kind of one that is slowly being given to us, and then that graveyard is the one we know. So that's the good thing about a graveyard, for instance, is having that ability to kind of know what's in it and then be able to pull from it. Right now you can't pull from it, but in the near future you will be able to, and it'll be just again another resource pool to pull from. So
excellent. We lost Dylan there. I thought you got struck by lightning or something, Dylan. Yeah, everything okay?
I should have like changed my shirt and like made my hair all messy or something like that, and like made it, so
made it more obvious. You keep disappearing and coming back in completely different costumes. That would be really funny, actually. I would love that. That's my kind of humor. Rook says, thanks, Derek. He says, but I meant for deck building, the max 109.
Okay, yeah. So with this, if you get rid of a card, you will like be burning it, and you will get components and then other resources for having burned it. So components can be inserted during the mint of a Nemont to affect the outcome a little bit. And then the various resources that it might be like a repair pack. It might be there's a chance that it could even be a latent orb. It could be it could be several different things. So there will always be kind of a benefit for burning those. In addition to the fact that obviously, like, there are going to be some cards where you're like, I don't ever play with this. I'm not going to ever use this. Like, I might as well just burn it. There's also going to be benefit for those harder decisions too. So.
Interesting. Yeah. Thank you so much for those questions, Rook.
Yeah, good questions.
I mean, with the addition of these cards and your graveyard now becoming a resource, I just feel these like necromancer decks coming on. I feel like that's kind of what look at Dylan, how excited he is. Those are the most.
When do I get a cat deck?
No, bans. Nerf. I wanted pre-nerf cat decks even before they're developed, because we all know what happened last time. You disillusioned me about card games forever. But yeah, no, it's necromancer decks, I feel, and I think that's great. I mean, that's how you grow the game. You employ every single part of it and kind of turn it on its head. You everything now becomes something that you can use, whether it's your graveyard, your cards, everything is on the table.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead, Derek.
No, and it's always like interesting choices, right? Like, you're opening up all these interesting choices to make along the way. And even at the deck building level, you're going to have more interesting choices to make, because you're like, well, I could build something that plays like this. I could build something that plays like that. How will this play against this opponent that I've never met, that I don't know what they're bringing to the game against me, those kinds of things. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I know one of the things that we had talked about last week was not using the term summoning sickness for, first term cards. Cause we love that other game, but we want to be different. So, then the question is like, if, is graveyard such a staple of terms that we could instead say like, what a great term for a mall would be, like the rubbish bin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that probably eventually, I think we'll probably get away from all of these, we'll find thematic terms for all of them. I do think that this elimination, I think we could use graveyard as long as we have it be, it works, it still works sort of thematically. It just needs, I think it needs a little more humor to it.
Yeah.
And a little bit added to it to make it more just more gel with the rest of the environment and with the story and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, these are things that are totally being considered, for sure. So
yeah, because I know one of the things that we've talked about and that you've sort of really explained with people is that when they're playing the game, their cards don't actually die per se like they would in like MTG. You would still have them after the game ends, but they'll have reduced damage. But I don't want people to start to think that if it goes to the graveyard, it's automatically gone.
Yeah, no, it's not automatically gone. It's just and I mean, that's another thing too, with like, once we do have these decks that pull from, these cards and things that pull from that graveyard, it's only a resource location, really, right? It's not it's something from the field is eliminated to, not necessarily the end, right? So yeah, but that being said, the idea is that once it is eliminated from the field, if you lose, it will take condition rating damage. So that is kind of the key. So that has to be in the player's mind, like when they're playing the card, they need to kind of think about that fact too, right? That being said, I think it should be to where your goal is to win anyway, at all costs. So you're going to want to play your best cards. You're not going to want to say, oh yeah, I really want to play it safe here. I don't want to damage my good cards. Well, then you're never going to win,
And
so
you'll lose more by losing the game than you would probably, over time, probably. It's better.
right,
It's probably better for you to win,
right.
and you'll do better over time.
Yeah, and it's that risk and reward, and like early Pokemon, you wouldn't. One of the things that they changed from like the early Pokemon was the fact that you would have to risk a Pokemon in order to level it up. It, Later on, like all Pokemon's, like as long as you won a battle, like all of yours would level up. So I think that there's a lot to this risk reward thing, especially since life is about that, and that's kind of fun, to be honest. So yeah.
And there's a thrill to it. You want the thrill of putting things on the line and winning, or losing. You still get the same dopamine hit anyway. So let's.
Yeah. Right.
We had a good question here in the chat. Maybe kind of an in-depth question, but Bush Birdie asked, "Can you trade, send, sell individual cards to other players?"
Yes. Short answer, but yeah, you can.
Yes.
You can.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, no. So like, yeah, you can sell them. So more specifically, you can sell them. You can like rent them out. With that renting out kind of thing, you can of course set the price. If you did want to trade with somebody, then you guys could rent each other's cards, something like that. That could be like a deal that you guys make between yourselves, basically. So yeah, a good question though.
Absolutely. And I mean, it shows that we haven't even scratched the surface of the potential of this game and the economy and the minting and all this stuff. I mean, it's going to be so complex and so rich, that's really what's going to be super fun about it. And looking over the horizon, I'm seeing now with the complexity of mechanics, and I'm seeing now like how style, everybody's going to be able to have a style to their game. If you want to be an annoying person like Dylan and say like I do a necromancer deck, or like a cat deck or something like that. I mean, there's gonna be metas and styles that are gonna be difficult to contend with. So I just love I can really see that emerging now, more so than ever with what we were talking about today. Bush Birdie has another question. Is condition damage indicated by the little red bars under the Neemot?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're going to have that's going to be beneath the Neemot is there's going to be like an ability recharge. That's going to be the primary thing. Condition rating, I'm still kind of weighing how we're going to determine that. I'm thinking that, so for the cards, it's pretty simple because we can make the cards kind of look, more and more damaged as it kind of goes. But then also have like an indication as far as a number, because it's a number-based system from 0 to 9, basically. So yeah, I think that I probably won't do a bar. I'll probably do like a number kind of thing, just because it's easier to determine those point percentages and stuff than it would be with a bar, because you couldn't get the nuance in it probably, because it also wouldn't, they won't take that condition rating damage that quickly, to where like you lost a card and so suddenly your bar is like like it's going to be a little more gradual and slower than that, right? Like we're not talking about like 1 point per every loss. We're talking about like decimal points, right? So yeah, that's a good question though.
Excellent question. Thank you so much, Bush Birdie. And if you're watching right now, don't hesitate to ask us questions. we've been streaming for around 50 minutes now, and we're gonna wrap it up fairly soon. Is there anything else that we should? So we talked about the new cards. So we have a new build. You need to join, Discord to be able to talk about and learn the latest about Wildcard. But we have a new build out. So if you do have access to the game, please check out this new build and play it. But so we have new cards. We have this new bug reporting system, which is really slick. Anything else that we should know about?
That's pretty much covers it. Yeah. There's been, other bugs that we have reported and things like that, that have been reported that we fixed. And so hopefully again, it's progress with these bug reports. At least the difference between week 2 and week 3, was the amount of bugs and issues we had went down. So yeah, that pretty much covers most of the big changes. Yeah.
Excellent. And I mean, just for some insight, now we have a select group of people that are playing the game. What has been the volume of bugs? Has it been, have there been many? Have you what are you dealing with?
There's been quite a few. There's been more, I would say there's more feedback than there is bugs. And in some cases, some of the bugs reported are actually kind of feedback, because like something may come off to the player as a bug, but it's actually just a UI feedback is what it is. Like, so for instance, you play a Nemot and like a arrow appears like coming from the middle of the screen. That is as it is as it is intended, but for the player it doesn't feel right because of the UI of it, right? So that is a feedback in which, yes, okay, so we need to do something so that it's more clear. So the idea is that, of course, having like for instance, a ball of energy up there, that the arrow comes from, or something like that, so it's more apparent. But yeah, we've had a lot of good feedback, a lot of good bug reports. They've been doing great. Y'all keep doing great. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. Really helpful.
Excellent. And I think it was Rook that made the suggestion for that card, the Gifts for Guardian, to actually turn that, or was it build a wall. Build a wall.
Yeah, to build a wall, right?
Yeah. So sometimes your feedback might end up into the game. So we can't promise anything. But we'll see. I mean, pigs, flaming pigs. I'm going to lobby for that pretty hard now that I had a pretty crazy history lesson tonight. Yeah, war pigs.
Yeah, war
God,
pigs.
Jeez, yeah. If you're watching right now, please rewind this stream, because maybe 10, 15 minutes in, we got a really gnarly history lesson from Derek about how to destroy elephants, and it involves pigs that are on fire.
Yeah.
Bushbirdie had another quick question here. So if you win a game, do all your cards avoid condition damage?
Yes, they do. So, yes, they do.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So keep winning. Just keep winning. That's what we learned from this. Just keep winning.
Yeah, just get good. That's the solution.
Never lose.
Good. Excellent. All right. So make sure you join us on Discord. That is where our community is. That is where everybody is. That is talking about this game and talking about Wildcard. We appreciate your support, and you can support us by liking, subscribing, doing all the social media things. We're coming up on the hour, guys. I think Player One, you had queued up a game. Is that right?
I am ready.
Okay. Should we play one game? What do you think, Derek? Or should we?
Play a game? Yeah, we should. We should play a game. Or best 2 out of 3.
It has been a while since I've got to play.
Okay, perfect.
My abacus. No, not quite an abacus, because your abacus works.
Yeah, Player One actually has some new gear now, so a new computer. So he's got a fancy new MSI laptop, so he can play.
You can see the box for it in the back that it came in.
All right. Yeah. So
that's another thing. I forgot to mention this. So a deck builder button on this screen. When you do the back, it takes you to here instead of to the home to the main screen. So So again, saving the players a little bit of annoyance with the loop of like, one less scene, one less click,
Yeah. Improved workflow.
What does the gear
Indeed.
button take you to, Derek? Because my gear button was not working.
Nothing. It does not do anything yet. That
Okay.
is a future reminder to like put settings.
How many bug reports do you think you're going to get?
Just from that?
A lot. Yeah.
Probably a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've already got some bug reports from that one. Yeah.
It's actually an Easter egg. If you can click it 1,000 times in 1 minute, you get released from the Matrix also. So that's another great feature. All right, so we have the dev chat game queued up. So let me just pick my deck first. Player one, have you built a new deck? What are you doing? Oh, you built a new deck.
No, I built a deck 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
And 2 days ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, fine. And then worked with it, all of day before yesterday and yesterday, to sort of based off of what I'd seen with Derek playing with some of his different cards that I thought he was sort of having some love to. So yeah, that was sort of where I have a Derek meta, my wild one, and some power moves.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have no new cards in these, but I want to let our audience know. So I'm planning on doing a gameplay stream on Thursday evening. So around the same time that we do the stream. So and Derek and player one, of course, you guys are welcome to join. But we're really gonna start turning up these gameplay streams and hopefully playing with more members of the community. So I'm going to be joining this game here, player one, and you will be facing the Meanie Beanie deck, aggro deck, the renowned, the infamous.
Ooh.
And while we wait, Jack Dillon asks, "What does it cost to repair cards? Wildcard tokens?"
Yeah, so there's repair packs actually. So those are kind of some of those items that you could possibly get by burning a card, for instance, or through random drops. So those will be necessary in order to repair cards. So
interesting.
Yeah, and those probably will cost wildcard tokens, or they'll cost you because you'll be buying them from somebody else who unlocked them most likely. So it's kind of the same thing, like buying a Nemod or what have you. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, Derek, what other this was spell week? Are you working on Nemot week this coming up, or what do you got going on?
Yeah, so this coming up week, we are still working on the randomization of the Nemots. Additionally, we have 2 new devs on the team, both starting this week. One is going to kind of handle the smart NFTs and hooking up our basically database for the NFTs. It's going to be separate from the game server, and then also hooking up to Phantasma with the SDK that's in the game. Additionally, will be that randomizing Nemod is kind of the key element, and what is the most intensive and comprehensive of the things that needs to be done. So that's going to be like a weeks and weeks process in order to get that nailed down and correct. But once that is, then suddenly all Nemots will be kind of working in the game, if you will. So,
all right. And so then will people get randomization of their different Nemot stats every time they log in, or will it be protected if they build a deck?
I'm probably going to have that be the case initially, because we'll still be testing mechanics and stuff like that. So I probably, at least for the first few weeks of it, will be randomizing those things, and in order to make it better for us to test the meta and the mechanics and how they're functioning against one another and stuff like that. But then, eventually this will transition to, smart NFT and like, for sure you're like limited to whatever, whatever it's locked in, like this is your Niemot now kind of thing. So
yeah. All right.
So how's this game going? Player one, are you feeling confident? Are you?
I did do a really bad mess up when I dropped my fur rabbit,
Your
my
fur rabbit,
my Farabi. Instead of going after your crystal,
you killed my small guy. You killed my little creature.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be.
That will be a costly mistake.
Oof, yep. Let's see here. No, we're good. But I did notice some, comparing to the meanie beanie Mabs, and I heard you actually cleaned your beanies today, Mabs.
I did, yeah. I did a whole wash of all my beanies. I also went out and bought a few new beanies, so I'm beanied up. I'm beanied to the chest, And hold on, I need to play. Stop distracting me. Are you trying to distract me?
I don't know what you're talking about. I would
Stop
never try to do
distracting me.
that. So are you a multiple beanie type of man? Because for me, when I wore a beanie, when I was in that stage of my life, I wore just one beanie. Maybe occasionally a different one, but it was always just a black beanie.
No, I'm what they call a hat prisoner. So I'm losing my hair. So this is, I have reasons to for wearing a beanie. Oh no. This guy again. Ferabit.
Suddenly you guys are tied.
Yeah.
Oh, actually not.
Let's not get too crazy.
Yeah. No. He needed a second for Rabbit.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't like the fact that, if you noticed, Derek, I have not drawn any new cards really. I fell down to 3, and that's where I'm sort of staying at. Have you built in mechanics yet that it's any of the top cards move off is what will then cause that?
You should have. Looks like you have 4 now. You have 4, right?
I do have 4 now. I just drew a 4th card. Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Send that bug report, please.
There you go.
Right, I will do that. Let me see if this works. Oh, what is this going to work?
Yeah, actually, just play on the stream.
And let's see if it kills that thing.
Oh, that's interesting. So, do you want me to not touch this guy? Well, I mean, I can't attack with him. So.
Well, you can. You can do whatever you want with him.
Well, okay, let's give the audience some context here. So, what did you just do, player one?
So, I used the Build-A-Wall. So normally the aspect of it is brings to 0 for attack and a +10 for defense. But the caveat on it is it lasts for 1 turn. And so then you can use that as, it's supposed to be a buff your own guy, but then if you wanted to, you could use it as a poison pill on an opponent almost.
Yep, absolutely. Deep mechanics.
Yeah.
Deep player one mechanics. But he hasn't died yet. So when technically would he die? Would he at the end of Oh, here's another one.
Yeah, it'll be the end of the.
Yeah, we'll see. And so it should, at the end of your turn here, Fishlight should die, pass away, slumber, go into the rubbish bin.
I mean, we might not get there.
Oh. Uh-oh.
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 Here it comes.
Ferabit!
Oh man.
Victory, lick victory. Oh, we got a LFG. Rook 982 is LFG. If you have a copy of the game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no, but I will. I did see you with your for rabbit there, player one. So we won't count that one, okay? Because I feel like you weren't playing to the best of your ability. So I won't count that one. Okay?
I'm rusty. I haven't been able to play. Like your game is so good. It killed my computer, Derek.
Well,
my awesome Walmart. Thank you, Walmart. Clearance shelf laptop that I got so many Pentiums ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But
that 480 60X66 that you had there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now
with 16 megs of RAM.
I remember my first computer had a 2 gig hard drive. Oh man. Like wow. I was the king of the block. This thing was so huge. And we lost Mabs.
Yep.
That I don't think we'll be able to end the show without him.
I don't think so either. He'll be back. There he's back.
I just disappeared myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all the nostalgia. I had a dizzy spell there. I had a dizzy spell. I was thinking about my first computer. It was an IBM, those white huge bricks from the 80s. Yep. And I remember playing Mech Warrior on it. That was like one of my first games. I also would go to Home Depot and get like diskettes of like shareware of like Duke Nukem and like all those old games. So we should talk about that. We should have like a nostalgia gaming stream.
Yeah, for sure.
But GG player one, thank you so much.
GG damn Mabs. GG.
So letting our audience know. So I'm planning another gameplay stream or a pure gameplay stream on Thursday evening, probably around the same time that we started this tonight, around 7 p.m. Pacific. I also want to remind our audience tomorrow we have Wildcard Wednesday. So that is our AMA. It's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific. So I'm sorry.
1900 UTC.
1900 UTC. Thank you, player one.
Yep.
Let's see here. Player one is going to run solo at the end again. No, that was my fault last time because I abandoned player one because I'm not going to lie. I had such a bad stomach ache I had to run. I had to exit like I had to disappear. I had to do a disappearing act. So I promise that won't happen again. I don't want to get too gruesome, but let's just say that I had no choice.
We could do that and just play against the AI and make decks.
Yeah, I mean, you could continue. But so tomorrow, 1900 UTC, 11 a.m. Pacific, we have Wildcard Wednesday. That is our AMA. It used to be on Tuesdays, but now because everything is Wildcard Wednesdays becomes our AMA. Tuesdays is going to be our dev chat. So 7 p.m. Pacific, whatever that is UTC, that is going to be now the time for our dev chats with Derek. And I think you're going to see a lot more gameplay because we want to lean into gameplay where, I don't want to tease too much, but there might be an opportunity in the near future for more people to play the game. And I'm not saying a word more, player one. We're not saying a word more than that.
Not another word.
Not another word, but we're going to have, there's going to be opportunities in the future. So I really want us to take some time and play with the community. We need to get Karai on the show one of these days, right? We keep building him up as the number one wildcard player in the world.
Yeah.
We need to talk to that man.
Do we want to do that, or will that be like the NBA curse, like when they get put on the game cover? And all of a sudden they always break their ankles the next year they just wash out or something like that.
It could be. Maybe Karai wants to keep the mystique around his persona too, and he doesn't want to reveal too much about himself. But I don't know. We'll try to pressure him. And a lot of you guys that are watching, I mean, we want to play against you on stream. So watch out for that. So tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. PST, 1900 UTC, our AMA is happening. Please tune in. And on Thursday evening, 7 p.m. PST, we will be doing some gameplay. But player one, do you have any parting words for us?
No, I just thank you everyone for joining us. This is where we get to really sort of pick Derek's brain apart and ask him questions. So, as we really push forward with our new Wildcard channel, really we ask you to share this, to like obnoxiously share this like with all of your friends and families. Like, I have my brother writing me from Germany saying that my YouTube channel now messes up his YouTube algorithm and we keep popping up on him. So
Beautiful.
We're doing something right. If you guys could help us out with that too, we would love your support with that. And join us on Discord. Our Telegram channels are they are going to be kaput.
It's old news. It's old news. The new news is Discord, and the link to Discord is now gliding across the bottom of the screen.
And even that, we have the unique Discord channel name too.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that changed actually.
Yeah. So that way, so you don't have to remember all of those alphanumeric, uppercase, lowercase stuff. So, but please join us on Discord. That's going to be an awesome time. You can find Derek there, and pick his brain even more, or just tell him, yes, obnoxiously share, please.
Thank you, Rook. Thank you, Rook. Thank you, Rook.
Get all of your friends. You know how you can send your Facebook likes, like have everyone like this page? Yes, please do that. Go show, put the Wildcard website on every computer at Best Buy and Micro Center that you can. And I put it on the big screen at Micro Center, and so there were some people actually looking at it and liking it. So, yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And the creator of Wildcard, Derek Laporte, any parting words for us and our audience?
No. Yeah, no, thanks for joining us, guys. It's great. Enjoy the game, all that kind of stuff,
How long have you been wearing those? How long have you been waiting for this?
I've just put them on,
All right.
At least they're not the yellow ones.
Or you should have white gloves, and you're the creator. Yeah,
that's true.
You need to protect. You should insure those hands, Derek, because they're going to become very, very valuable.
Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, all my white gloves are with my cornet right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and near my jazz ensemble. So.
Okay. Excellent. Well, on behalf of the guys, I am Meanie, Beanie, Mabs. I am the guy who talks first on these streams. We want to thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and join us on Discord. That is the most important thing. And we will catch you guys in the next one.